Hello, I am back for part two, and my apologies for being later than I said. Um, so just bear with me. I'm just going to be carrying on from what I didn't say, and then I will come back tomorrow, perhaps, or in a couple of days, and do the Divine Masculine update. So I'm just going to finish off what I began earlier today. So what I wrote this morning was interesting, and then I'll speak to you about the energies of yesterday, but I feel today is quite a sort of reasonable platform point to begin here. So today I wrote, you may find the energy today slightly hypnotic, as there is a balancing effect brought to bear on the integration process that we've been going through over this period of time, really since probably we're in the middle of it. So I believe that the Lionsgate energy was with us very strongly and increasing in its potency and power. Hi, Larissa. So it was increasing in its potency and power to or until around the 15th. And that now we're in basically a week of integration that includes purification and release, and comes with some purging. So we're in a few more days of this phase, and probably till the end of the weekend. So I was showing the effect of driving in light rain with the windscreen wipers moving back and forth. So it's that level of this hypnotic energy that we've been placed into. And this idea of just, you know what it's like when you're driving in rain, you're just watching the windscreen wipers. And so it's the slightly hypnotic effect today. That's the parallel analogy. And also increased purification and purging, but really related to the mental mind. And so to the mental programming and conditioning and those limited ways of thinking, being, and operating that come through the mental mind constructs, the things that come through our family lines and our social conditioning. And these are the things that are now coming up to be unthreaded, and it may come up in many petitions or components. It may come up through physical memories or cellular responses that are emotional or mental, and also spiritual, and it may be from past lives or from this life. We're in the ending layers, so it could be in any of those. And it is about our shifting our 3D reality. So whatever is in connection to holding us, to tethering us in 3D reality is coming up for us to look at and to release, so we can raise in consciousness. And if you haven't listened to part one, go back and listen. But there's this beautiful notion that each of us as light workers are becoming this crystalline pillar placed on the earth. Hello, Anna. Placed on the earth, and we're this crystalline pillar that's straight up in the middle and kind of curved out at the top and curved out at the bottom. And that each of us is this white, opaque, or creamy looking pillar made of crystal, and that we're holding hands. And that's creating this beautiful new connected harmonic frequency for the earth and for humanity. And that's all helping, it's creating, like, each of us in our own torus, if you like, connected to others in their toroidal field. And that's creating connections that are helping to raise the consciousness of humanity. And so anything that comes up now, you be in dialogue with it. So what is this? What is this pattern? What do I need to know about it? What do you want to tell me? And where does it sit? And be in conversation with it and invite it to show you what it needs to be cleared or healed or purged and then integrated. So you're looking for the languaging, you're really looking to do this through a sensory experience in the body, and you use that as your guidance. So the sensory experiences through the body might even be through the organs of the body, and you use that as your GPS. And it's all about being present. It's all about being with the breath, with this moment, being guided in this sort of very micro way as we're down into the deep, deep places for releasing. And also today, it really showed up for me that we might be in this left-right brain balancing. That may also show up, of course, in our physical bodies because they kind of operate together in synchronicity. But yeah, especially through this mental energy, that's how it shows up. So we've been in this kind of, hi supernova, this energy that's felt dense, but not dense as in weighty, but as in compacted. So it's like we're holding a lot of energy's been compressed into this tight space, and it's that when I'm speaking about density, it's that. And so that's been coming up feeling like a lot of pressure in the brain, and it reminded me of the analogy that I was given from Source earlier on for humanity, that we were being squeezed like a deep pimple, which is, an interesting analogy, but the idea that you have to squeeze a lot to get the residue out. And so we've been going through that as part of our purification. So Supernova is saying your cells or his cells, I'm sorry, Supernova, their cells, my cells. My cells feel like percolating bubbles and then cold waves moving up and down. Yeah, interesting, because I feel that we are at this point, we are really into this individualized experience, much more so than before, because we're in the dark depths of release and purification. And so I wrote here, this day may also be experienced with extreme, intense feelings of pressure. So for me, I've been in this kind of very sensitive space where I'm easily moved, as though I can, access my feelings very, very easily. They're close to the surface. And so that can kind of be anything, but the tears have been coming very easily. And yesterday, so let me just read, even though this is a little bit of a repeat of the video I did earlier today. But yesterday I wrote, we are in what to me has felt like a flat point, as though we're on the bench watching a game that we know we're going to win. And so we're just politely watching it unfold. And in our bodies, that we are experiencing integration to a greater extent. So this is our multidimensional lifetimes and experiences and wounding and things that are held in the cellular memory. It can be that. So we're in this integration right through. Well, for me, I think that we're doing this through many of our multidimensional experiences, and we're also sort of grounding in and expanding up. It's a bit of a paradox, but we're doing both of these. So we're expanding up and pulling in our 5th, 6th, 7th, and even 8th dimensional experiences, aspects that we're pulling in to integrate now in this movement. And there's something about holding those higher frequencies that can have an impact on the tipping effect, or the tipping point for humanity. And so we're experiencing this integration to a greater extent than we ever had before. And the energies that are coming in are more powerful than they've ever been before. And through the Lionsgate, we got new energies as well. And so it's the same now. It's kind of can have this weird feeling because it's new to us. They're not energies that we are familiar with. And so this is all, it's all a stretch, isn't it? It's a continual stretch. So these multidimensional aspects, lives and experiences lifting as well our light quotient. So our bodies are being transmigrated from this carbon to crystalline silica liquid light. And we many of us are starting to kind of have a bit of a shine or a bit of a gleam, but I believe we're going to kind of become this luminescent. Sarah Adams coined the phrase the homo luminous, and we are becoming that, and we will. I think we'll see that, even if it's initially with our third eye, we'll see this kind of glowing light from the heart. I saw it in somebody yesterday who I think it was yesterday, somebody I've worked with this week, and I said to them, I can see when this particular thing happens that it's like there's this, it was like a ring, a glowing golden ring of light emanated from their heart space. A lot of us are in this experience of what I have been calling cellular exhaustion, and it's because we are ascending through changing the bodies. We're ascending in our consciousness, in our dimensional fields, in our up-leveling on the go. So our bodies are having to function in our normal reality and in this three-dimensional life that we're playing a role in, and at the same time we're changing it. So it's huge, and it takes a lot of energy, and so we can feel it's different. It's a different level of it's exhaustion. It's this, why am I so damn tired? It's that kind of thing. I might have, I can go and do exercise, and I can do meditation, and I can do my work, and it's like this permeation of, on some level, feeling exhausted, even though it's not through all levels, and it's just a different kind of exhaustion. And so these energies have felt heavy. They've held this density, this compactedness, and this intensity as well. We're being taken through our paces, that's for sure. This creation of pressure and this squeezing, all designed for transformation, transmutation, and transmigration and transfiguration. We are changing our bodies. And it's all for illumination, for us to move more strongly into this crystalline pillar, which shows up as this white coming in with the plasmic light, and it creates this refraction. So you can see energetically, or with the third eye, or the inner vision, it's like the slick on the top of a puddle where there's a bit of oil. There's all that light refraction. That's how the plasmic light shows up. It's got that all of the spectrum through it, and this is all part of our torus, our crystalline toroidal field, and how it shows up to me is it connects at the top. It connects through the soul star chakra, and underneath the ground through the crystalline earth star chakra. So it's under and above, and then moving up and around us. Yes. Yeah, and that this energy may also have come with this idea of feeling numb, that some people may have been feeling numb, or very highly emotional and extra sensitive, or any of those, in the mix of any of those. And you may be feeling this through everything, through physical, emotional, mental, spiritual bodies. But we are navigating our own way through this part of ascension. That's very clear to me. This is not you following somebody else. It's you following you. It's you reaching deeply into your own inner guidance and and following that. And we're doing this in energies with which we are totally unfamiliar. And it is shifting us. So this is its purpose, to being able to be more present in the moment of integration, each of us having different experiences and also perhaps in different orders, but designed to enable us to become more attuned to our own inner being. Because for everyone, it's important that we just become more aligned to self. We become more accountable for our own energetic system, connected to our own needs and desires and programs, and the propulsions, the things that drive us forward. So it's this having the self-sustaining energetic system that we can read and manage for ourselves. And also in relation to the planet, this is shifting out and moving out density, purging, purification, so that we can have more light come in. And so a lot of these codes are coming in also to remind you more of who you are. So it's reminding you about the gifts and the powers and the skills that you hold. And so we are coming into greater recognition of who we are, working with our own energy systems as we come into connection with our new harmonics and waves of energy. Because remember, we are changing on the run. We are becoming into our own illumined bodies. So, yeah, that's what I came to finish off. And I was going to do something about the divine masculine, but to be honest, I feel I need to go and attend to my need for food, and that I will do come and speak about the divine masculine energies sometime, probably tomorrow. So I'll just see if there's any questions here. No, just some declarations. So I think we have somebody here right now from Romania, and we have somebody from London who is in Poland, and we have somebody who is here from South Africa, and I'm not sure where Supernova is, and Angela Bray. I'm not sure, Angela, are you in New Zealand or the US? I think I might know two Angela Brays, actually. Loved ones from the US. Oh, the Canary Islands. Oh, wow. Yeah, so it's, the exciting thing is it's happening, isn't it? I think we just cannot deny that we're in the midst of this ascension. It is showing up everywhere, and this purification is part of the process, and we really just need to be enhancing our own energetic system, holding the frequency as high as possible, and know that rubs off and it creates this beautiful network of raised frequency for humanity. Supernovas from South Africa. So I'm so appreciative of you all coming on and sharing this space with me. What's the other thing that's become apparent at the moment is to be really feeling into the energy of how we might want to be in our new earth, and to be dropping into the feelings of that, the emotions of that, and let that sort of be the underpinning foundation of our new earth. And watching. So the other interesting thing from my perspective is that Gaia spoke about the fact that July would show up deficits and change and shifts in government, health and finance. And so we've definitely seen all of that happening, although not so much in the economics, but I believe that there's been things going on in the background that we haven't yet had divulged to the public. That's my sense of it. And then in this month that we would begin to see that happening in a more physical way. So it will begin to show up, but then it will begin to be starting to shift in a physical way. So in August, we would see the physical manifestations of these structural and systemic changes that needed to be made. And so in this month, we'd be seeing that in those three areas. And then in this month, we'll begin to see the deficits in law, education, and food production. So, or the whole kind of cycle of food. So we are watching a lot of that happen in terms of weather manipulation. That's becoming very obvious that our food crops are being and have been being very targeted. And that we will be looking at some of the contrast between common law and our legal system. So I don't watch the news or have television, so I know that has to sort of become pretty obvious for me to see it. But it's interesting that it has happened in the way that Gaia described. So we've watched a lot of governmental changes in quite massive ways, and so we can see this showing up in our physical world. This change as we're preparing to leap into our fifth dimensional way of existence and into our planetary space in the galaxy. And that Gaia described it, I think the 1st of August, she said we're in the potentiality of planetary ascension now. So it was lined up in so many ways and just waiting for this vibration to lift. So that's why it's important for us to be in integrity, and why it's important for us to be in this dialogue with our own energetic systems, and clearing and cleaning and aligning and balancing and centering, and then to be that for others and know that your frequency affects the frequency of others. And we know that even in terms of some of the sound experiments that have been done with tuning forks, that one tuning fork affects another, and that sound ripples can move energy waves and create sacred geometry and sand, and there's a whole lot of different things that have been shown. And then on top of that, of course, was Masuru Emoto-san, the Japanese scientist. I think he was a scientist, but anyway, he did this work with water and frequency under the microscope. And so water from various places has a different structure, and that sound and that words can improve the frequency and vibration of water, and we are water. So all of this is learning that we can apply to the way in which we live our lives. So I will see if there are any. Larissa's saying, I feel good like never before. I am in peace. I am in love. I am love. I just am. It's so true. And I had a day like that yesterday when I wasn't like that. It was really interesting. I felt, was it yesterday? No, Monday. Monday, I felt like I was my old 3D self, just walking around, doing my thing, doing my job, blah, blah, blah. And I'd really noticed it. And I thought, this is not how I normally am. This is like my old self. And then, of course, that's what's happening, right? We're examining ourselves on all sorts of levels. But there is that, thank you, Larissa, there is that real sense of peace here. It's like, I think it's this deep knowing. We know we're going to be all right. We know we're on track. We know we're going to ascend. We know the planet's going to do it. We know that humanity is just going through this sort of bit of rockiness to wake up a few more people, and that we're so close to it, it could happen at any time. Oh, Angela said she had the same experience of being her old self. And isn't it cool that we can become that kind of self-observational, that we can be, we've become very good at being the witness of ourselves, the observer of ourselves, to take away the drama and the story of it and just be with what is. And life just has that gentleness, that just not holding on to things so tightly. And this is, we're navigating our way to this new way of being, and this, like one little tiny bit at a time. So I am going to go and organise some dinner, and I thank you again and wish you well and so much love and this kind of knowledge that at any time we could have this ascension planetary experience. And I'm not sure how much of a heads up we'll get on it, but we are in the window for it, that's for sure. So yes, come back and have a listen tomorrow about the energies of what my perception is of what's going on with the divine masculine, which is quite an extreme change. All right, lots of love. Bye.